All right, everyone. Today I'm going to go over real quick on how to do keyword research. And I apologize, my camera is here, but my screen is here. So I'm going to be talking over to here, so hopefully it doesn't bother you as much. Basically, what I'm going to go over today is Google keyword research for your ad group. So, how do you do keyword research? Recently, Google has changed some of their keyword research and some of their keyword match types, and it's important to realize exactly what they mean. And today I'm going to be going over that. And the other thing is, how do you use these keywords effectively in your campaigns? How do you break out these new structures? Because what we've figured out in my agency and helping thousands of people with their Google ads is that there are certain structures that are now working with Google and the old structures aren't working as much. So let's get into it. Not as much fluff today. Right. So here's what I want to talk about first. Types of keywords in Google. So there's three main types of keywords in Google, and you might not be as familiar with them, but they're pretty simple. The first one is broad match. First one is this broad match keyword. And so this is basically if someone this is for the keyword, furniture store. So if someone typed in furniture store, or if someone is looking to pay for an ad on furniture store, that keyword might come up for home decor if it's a broad match, right? Their ads may show on searches that relate to your keyword. So another one is, cream colored leather sectional, right? That's something that your ad would come up for if your keyword is furniture store and someone types in home decor, right? So broad matches, we really don't love them as much. If you have a really low search volume, sometimes it's okay to use them. But what we found is a lot of times your ads will just kind of fall by the wayside, unfortunately. So so I would always stay away from broad match. You always want to get more into the phrase match. And notice how the broad match is the more comprehensive matching, the moderate matching is the phrase match, and the exact match is the type match. And you'll even notice um, how this is the big box here for comprehensive. So you're going to have the most matches in keywords, and then phrase, you're going to have less. And then exact, it's even going to be less. And it's a good way of showing exactly how each of these are going to work. And like I said, we always recommend going below broad match if possible. Okay, and the next one is phrase match. So ads may show on searches that include the meaning of your keyword. So Google is taking a little bit of liberty and trying to figure out what the meaning of what your keyword is. So for instance, if your keyword is, if your keyword is furniture stores, well, when someone searches cheap furniture stores, your keyword might come up there because it's not an exact match. It's not like an exact match, it's a phrase match. So think about this, the meaning. What's the meaning of your keyword? The second thing is, living room furniture deals. Your keyword, that might be something that comes up if your keyword is furniture stores. So this is really, really important. The notation when you put in your keywords in your campaigns are quotation marks. Yeah, that's a really bad circle, but it's good to note. So if you put furniture stores in quotation marks, then it would be a phrase match. And then the next thing that we find is exact match, right? So this is always one of the better ones. And I'll tell you what, sometimes what we're noticing now is we're actually noticing that even if you put a word as an exact match, sometimes it bleeds over into this phrase match. And we've been noticing that happens a lot, especially if your ads aren't getting a lot of traffic. Google still is trying to remember to match a search query over to a landing page, right? So there's your little microscope. Didn't really work very well. But Google's goal in as a search engine is to make sure you're trying to get users, your people that are searching on these search queries, into a campaign. And remember, that's their number one goal. So if you're running a campaign and your thing is furniture stores, and someone looks up furniture store or home furnishing shop, some people might get your ad. But also maybe someone is looking for living room furniture deals, and Google says, that's close enough, and they'll put this exact match, which keep in mind has these brackets, and it will use a phrase match for exact match. So that's just something to keep in mind. So remember, exact the most tightest matching, and we always say go for these two. We don't really recommend broad match as much, but it's something that we will use every now and then if we're trying to get some data on some keyword matching. Okay, so now we know what the keyword match types are. Now what we can do is we can go into, excuse my scribbles, what's the keyword research that we typically do? So the first thing is I always use, there's a really good free tool that Google talks about or that Google has, and I'll show you what it is, but it's called Google Keyword Planner. And I'm sure you're very familiar with it if you do anything with Google. But the first thing that we do is go to Google AdWords, and I'll show you exactly how to do this. You go to Keyword Planner, then you put the Keyword Planner keywords into the Reach Planner. And what you're trying to do is you're just trying to make sure that, the keywords that you're looking at are actually going to hit your targets and actually going to get the amount of clicks and conversions based off what you're looking for. And then what you want to do is you want to break out keywords in ad groups and into ad groups. And this is on an Excel document. I think I think there's another S in here, an X. I think it's maybe X at the end. I can't remember. And then what we do is we take it into an Excel document, break it out, and then add it back in to Google AdWords. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. So you're going to go into your Google AdWords campaign, and then you're going to want to make sure you go into Tools on this left-hand side, and then Keyword Planner. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do discover new keywords and make sure we want to do not get search volume and forecast, because we want to find new keywords that our customers are potentially searching for. So I've already created one of these, and actually I'll go through it again. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on that, and then you're just going to type in keywords that are specific, products or services that closely relate to your business. So for instance, this website, Harco Semco, so thermocouples, cable harnesses. Let's just do sensor solutions and thermocouples. So sensor solutions and thermocouples. And it's not important necessarily to know what these are, but it is going to be important if you're going through these keywords to make sure that you have an understanding of what's a good keyword versus what's a bad keyword. And that's where, we talk to our clients all the time, and we talk to them to make sure that, hey, we're adding keywords that are important and we take away the keywords that are not. So you can put the website that you're referencing to, because that helps Google. And then you're just going to put click results. Now, especially if you're in B2B manufacturing, or if you're more in a niche market, you might not get as much information on these. So for instance, sensor solutions and thermocouples, it looks like we have pretty good monthly searches actually for these, which is awesome. And so on this chart, it's going to give you other keywords that you might want to keep in mind. So thermocouple sensors, that's actually a really good one. And you're just going to click all the ones that you want to add to your keywords, your keyword plan. So a thermocouple, potentially sensor solutions. So you don't want to add stuff that obviously has like a competitor that maybe is in your market. So you don't want to add those to your campaign unless you're doing a competitor campaign. And then maybe the thermocouple. So it looks like we probably could have written out some better products to get some better keywords. But for right now, we're going to leave it as is. So maybe one thing that we could add is we could add temperature sensor here. So let's see if we can get some more results with that. Sometimes it helps out. There's also this toolbar on the bottom, and what you can do is you can make it so you don't bring in branded keywords, and it's actually going to help you out. Oh, sorry, branded or non-branded keywords, and it's actually going to help you out if you don't want to keep those branded keywords actually in your keyword list. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go through here, and you're going to want to look at, what are we looking at as far as average monthly searches, because you want to make sure that you're getting enough searches on something and you're just not adding a keyword that might be a bust. Right? You're going to look at a 3-month change. And remember, this is all data that has previously been recorded. So it's stored data. So this is old data, but it's only a month or two old potentially, especially with Google. So it's just good to keep in mind this is what's past, not what is been targeted in the future. So looks like a 3-month change, 0%, which is good, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. When it's a high search volume like this, It's actually good because it means that people are continually searching for this. You know, it's a constant keyword. You can also look on year over year change. Is that gone up? So it looks like temperature sensors actually gone up, which is awesome. And like I said, make sure you're clicking off ones you want to add to your campaign. So then you're going to look at competition. This is a good one because typically for high competitions, it's more expensive to add them to your campaigns, add impression share. So it looks like this right here it's a kind of an interesting metric, but it's the number of impressions you've recently divided by the total number of searches for the location. So if none of these keywords are in your campaigns, you're actually not going to get this metric. And obviously, I don't have it right now because none of these are actually in my campaign. And then the top page bid. So this is how much the top page bid on average or on the low end will be. This is on the high end, and this will show up if the keyword is actually in your campaigns. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go over to so select all the ones you want to do. So let's just do temperature measurement, temperature detector, custom thermocouple. And then you're going to want to go into add keywords and create a plan. So what that's doing is your plan is not your campaign in Google. You're basically just creating a campaign in this keyword planner. So then what you can do is you can go over here and you can download keyword ideas, but actually what you want to do is you want to go over to performance planner. And so you're going to want to create a plan. Oh, I apologize, but it's the wrong one. So you're going to want to go back here and you're actually going to want to go over to forecast. So you're going to want to look at all the saved keywords that you did. And this is going to give you a good general idea on if you added these to a campaign, the amount of clicks that you get. So your plan could get about 306 clicks for $930 with a $30 average daily budget. So let's just say, we have a $100 average daily budget. Let's go up. Let's go huge. Oh, let's do 90. There we go. So this is going to say, oh, wow, we can get 372 clicks. So what that's telling us is, and this is actually a really good metric, and so this is obviously not perfect, but it's a good metric to see that, hey, when we were at 30, not 1930, we got 306, but then when we went up to 90, oh man, keep doing the wrong thing. It didn't really jump the clicks. I mean, 70 clicks is not a lot, and even it says, okay, let's see what the conversions expected are for that, and 11 conversions, and let's just say, play around with this. You can see, let's say 10 conversions. So really spending $30 on this, it's not going to give us much of a change. And you can even see that in this slider here. So at $75, we're going to get 11 conversions, but at $30, we're going to get 10 expected. Now this is not actual. So it's good to kind of have this little bit of feedback and to expect. And this is a great way to see how your Google ads will perform. Now, one thing I want to bring up is you want to make sure that, and I'm going to go back over to my mirror board don't leave this page. Before we go into the next page, I want to talk one thing about keyword ad groups. So you're going to have your campaigns. And let me zoom out a little bit. So you're going to have your campaigns, as you see here. So this would be a campaign like if you're, Apple or whatever, really, really, obviously a huge company. But you would mainly have your campaigns, and then you would have your keyword groups, and then you would have your keywords in those keyword groups, right? And so a lot of times, sometimes what people will say is, oh, you need to make sure you break this, let's just say the iPhone, up into various different, campaigns. So maybe you have the iPhone 13, and then you have the iPhone 14, and then you have those keywords and other boxes specifically targeted at those specific keyword groups. What we found is it's actually better if you do it this way. It's way better if you just create, I want to erase all of my beautiful artwork here. It's actually way better if you just create what I just showed you right there. And you just create one large keyword group. And then in that keyword group, you put all your keywords in reference to that. Now you want every single thing in here to make sure that it's actually a keyword for the above. You don't want these keywords to maybe actually reference one over here. But then you also want all these keywords to make sure that they reference the landing page. And it's really important that every single one of these keywords is relevant to this landing page. Otherwise, if someone gets to this landing page, if they land on this landing page right here, and then they bounce immediately, Google will see that as a negative thing for your ad group. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go back into your keyword planner, your forecast. Then you're going to want to download all these into a CSV. Now, remember, an ad group is one that where all of your keywords are relevant to a search term. So you're going to want to open the CSV. I've actually already opened one right here. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that for these ad groups, you want to divide them into campaigns and then ad groups in those campaigns. Now, when you download this, you're going to get this really nice report right here. And then what you're going to do is you just want to copy them, or you can even just do it right on this page here. You can, insert a column right here, however you want to do it. And then let's just say this is going to be harness campaign. I want to put this as the wiring harness campaign. And then in the ad group for the harness campaign, maybe it's wire harness. And then you're going to want to go down and continually break out these based on the campaign and based off the ad group that you want in that campaign. So maybe for specifically, this is a thermocouple campaign. And then in the thermocouple campaign, it's, thermo. Nothing too crazy right there. Sometimes you only have one or two ad groups specifically in each campaign, and that's actually one that we recommend. So sometimes breaking this out into the next row isn't actually as important, but it's something that we always recommend, being able to break it out and then visualize specifically where all these keywords are going. So then once you get all these keywords, then you can add them back into your campaigns as keywords in your campaigns. And then these keywords can now start working as keywords in your campaigns. And hopefully this has given you a good insight of exactly how to do keyword research for your Google ads. And one thing that I didn't go over is, like, let's just say you have a website and you don't really know the keywords that are going to that website, but you have keywords you want to rank for. That's perfect. You can just actually go over here to keyword ideas, and you don't have to put the website in. You can just put, let's just say, thermocouples. And let's just see what it comes up with. And this is going to give us a lot more ideas. So obviously, probably not a very common search. I mean, less than 1,000 searches. Your video change is -90. So let's just put that website in again and see if we can get more keywords. And obviously, sometimes for specific industries, you're not always going to have a lot of keywords for that. So probably not the best one I chose, but let's just do cables. Let's see if that works. Interesting. I feel like I might be doing something wrong, but hey, this is all the part of doing actual research live. So there we go. So we got some more stuff. So let's say, for instance, this is infinity cables, Ethernet cables, USB-C cables. These are all ones that you can start seeing what actual traffic you have for each one of those. And so maybe you want to go over after HDMI cables. So you can copy this here, paste it, and now you can go get more specific on what type of keywords that you can go after for HDMI. So USB to C, HDMI-C, HDMI to USB-C. And this way you can actually drill down more into figuring out what keywords you should go after. So I hope this was helpful. If you're looking to actually optimize your campaigns, I made a video on my channel about how to optimize campaigns. If you're looking to set up your campaign, I also made a video over here, how to set up your campaign. Thank you so much for watching. If you're looking for my free Google Ads checklist, link is in the description. If it's not, put a comment down there and I will get back to you. Thank you.